My best friend, my 14-year-old red lab best friend, left his body yesterday. I'm about to go bury him. And just like when he chose me when he was a few weeks old, I didn't see that coming. And I knew that it was going to happen, but exactly the timing of yesterday, I didn't see that coming. It's kind of how life is, you know? And with that process of not seeing it coming, all I could say was thank you. Everybody's different, so everybody can deal with things however they want, but I'm expressing what's actually here and what's actually occurring. That dog wasn't a full dog. Um, I'm not looking for anybody to comprehend or understand, but he was more regal and more godly than nearly anything I've ever seen. And this is not an anthropomorphizing of hopes. I'm just telling the fucking truth. Uh, and that. So my dad's dog, a yellow lab bred with a very high-end red lab, who was my brother's best friend's dog. And the yellow lab was the female. They were purebred, and we decided to have some puppies and sell them. And I was more of a Presa Canario, Argentinian Mastiff, like big, strong dog guy. It's my late 20s. And I lived back home with my parents just for a little while, helping my buddy with a business. And this occurred, and we were gonna sell the litter. And one day, after a few weeks, one dog just kept separating themselves from the rest and coming and sitting right in front of me. And just staring at me. And eventually I picked him up, and a friend's father, who was a intriguing and valuable influence in my life when I was little, passed away around that same time. He was a remarkable man. His name was Fred Comparado. And then after having a couple drinks with a mutual friend one night, decided to name my puppy Fred. That dog kind of turned my world around. and took me on a ride, accepted me, and again, this is not me pointing at what I'm hoping, telling the truth, guided me into this very, very slow process of where I was going and to learn to be more masculine and gentle and non reactive, but not a bitch, to be fully yourself, to be okay with yourself. Everyone who ever met him, especially in his prime, would stop and look at him and say, "Damn, that's a good looking dog. There's something different about that dog." I'm not trying to say that it's special because he's my dog. He's not my dog. This can sound however it sounds, but he was sent here to be a guide for me. He's made of the same thing that everything's made of: the plants, the ether, um, all the spiritual worlds or realms. It can't be made of anything else. It's all made of the one thing, just as you and I are. And yet, that one came here to guide me for that period of time. I've known that time was coming for a while. I've been sleeping on the floor with him for months. But I'm just so extremely grateful that I've had the opportunity for such remarkable love to come and guide me. It's an incredible gift. It's funny how in every few seconds I'm now noticing, or have been last night, noticing how frequently my mind goes to check on Fred, take care of Fred. How's Fred doing? And it's a relieving that he is now full, complete again, not in a manner of dealing with issues of aging embodiment. I know he's learned so much from the process of having to deal with me, fulfilling his mission of what he came here to do, learning all the stages of being such a remarkable animal. But what I really want to say is what's actually occurring, because there's a very important cat that came to me, fully black, as a baby, as like a couple-week old baby, came to this door almost to the day a couple years ago, like a week before Christmas. And in the middle of the night, he started calling at the door, meowing. I opened the door. It came in, and it just acted like it knew me. Came right up to me. Same shit. Baby. I'm talking about like this big. Just striking yellow green eyes, and not one hair of anything but jet black. And it would crawl over me. When I would sleep, it would sleep on my face. I'd have to like throw it, try to stick its mouth in my mouth. It was all over me all the time. When I grew up, got older, it would run around outside and climb on the roof and watch me sleep from the window outside my bedroom. And I got sick after I had kittens. One of his kittens right here. And it was sleeping between my legs one night, woke up, and was very weak. I could see that this was a serious issue. Took it downstairs. Within a few minutes, it left, and its eyes went from yellow to gray to jet black in a period of 2-3 breaths. And his eyes did basically the same thing. And so my inquiry is, what is that? So it's harder for us to see it with plants and trees because we identify with certain things on a level of density. And with trees, lots of times the roots stay alive, and maybe you'll get like a sapling that grows out of what was cut, or it just takes a while for it to completely die off if you have a stump, or if you cut out the roots, there's nothing left to really look at. And a plant, you pick it up and eat it, you're not really watching the mechanism of the separation. But it's the same energy. But with an animal, you literally can watch. Like when my mom left at 3:33 a.m. August 27th. My dad and my brother were sitting there, and I saw her last breath, and I saw her be just body, knowing that she was released. It's a little easier with animals, especially if they have their eyes open, because you can literally see it. What is that? Anybody can say, chemistry, because his heart was beating after that. I checked his heart; it was still beating a little bit after that. It wasn't like he was stone-eyed. It was like the coloring of his eyes changed. The dilation went to complete the entire eye black. It doesn't have to be that way for everybody, but what is going on? I don't mean the eyes. I mean, what is going on in that experience where there is what's considered to be embodied life, and then there is just body shutting itself down? There's a separation there. And that's why I say when anything supposedly dies, there is no death, merely opportunities before. But I personally say they left their body. It's just so obvious. It's not a feelings thing. It's not a desiring thing. It's not a covering up of like not addressing. it is actually addressing it. What is occurring there? So usually we don't look at it because we have these great feelings. And in my opinion, the feelings are there so that we can sit with them and absorb them and learn from them. But we are taught through insinuation of society and how everyone around us does it to kind of compartmentalize the feelings and then not fully encompass and address the actual occurrence of what's happening. So we mostly are left with just sadness. So all of a sudden we go from love of the thing that's living to sad talking about what was. And I genuinely feel opposite of that. I genuinely know opposite of that. I don't. I'm not finding it because of this, but I do find a great deal of wisdom in indigenous cultures or older cultures that treat this disembodied process, this death process, with reverence and with graciousness and with appreciation as not this hoping of heaven and hell. It's odd, but this blessing of that energy of spirit that has been released from that body that is now free to grow and continue doing what it must do. And I still feel him here. I mean, I think most folks for a while still feel that thing around them. And again, science can say, well, that's just your own chemicals, but we tend to skip over that process so much. We tend to want to, and this isn't with judgment at all, but kind of put our animals asleep and not really watch it. Not that there's anything wrong with putting your animal asleep, but like not watch the process. We tend to uh, heavily medicate our elderly and separate them from society, and then not really watch the process. And we tend to not want to participate in that too much. And there's an oddity that comes with keeping something what's called alive for maybe a little too long. But when it was his time, he stopped eating, and I had to give him water from a hose, and uh, and that only went on for like a week, and it doesn't seem that bad, honestly. He he took some breaths, went purple in the mouth. I've seen it before. Like I said, I didn't expect it, but it's like, oh, okay, this is it. Wasn't sad. I'll be sad when I bury him, but I'm supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be. But anyway, I laid him back down in his spot outside, and he just kind of got into the most peaceful lean that he could and took maybe a couple more very, very slow breaths. He was gone. To me, that is, and this can be applied to somebody who's killed in a shooting, whatever. To me, that is a beautiful process. It is exhilarating. Um, just like everybody, if I could press, give me 5 more minutes, I'd press 5 more minutes. But that's not the way it's supposed to be. We're supposed to live in awareness here and now of what is here and now. So people say things like, I'm sorry for your loss. What have you actually lost? It's a weird way of, this isn't a critique on anybody, it's critique on everybody, I guess. Society in general. Like, why are we using certain terms? What have you lost? What have I lost? I haven't lost anything. I've actually gained a lot. I've gained as much as I can currently hold. And that's how life goes. You grow to the level of your allowance, of your expanding belief structure. You gain what you can hold. As much energy as you can allow to flow through you. There'll never be another one like Fred. Everybody gets one. I will have another remarkable dog, and she will guide me in remarkable ways. And it won't be comparison. The only true competition is within. But I've never, ever, and never will meet an animal like Fred. There are very, very few. My buddy and I lived on the beach when he was about 3 years old. And he was incredibly well trained. He would watch me everywhere. It was like he and I were like, people thought that I would abuse him because he listened so well. But looking back on it, really, it's just that he was watching me and taking care of me. We would leave him places, and there'd be a crowd around him when we came back. Not because they were worried about him, but because they were enamored by him. He would be holding court and not even paying. He would literally ignore 30 people around him and just stare and wait. And whenever we walked back in, he'd go, almost as if he's saying, "Gentlemen, ready to go?" He had a litter of puppies. And when the female was in heat, he refused to hump her until there's a 3-day window when they're extremely fertile. But she was ready the whole time. He refused to hump her until it was like that one day in between the 3 days opened up. So for like 4 or 5 days, he just sat there and licked her and held her hand. He would put his hand on her hand and lick her face. Everywhere we went, I never had him on a leash, ever, ever. He would go in the bank with me. He would go into the grocery store with me. and he would never look at anybody else. If I stopped, he stopped, and he put his head right next to my knee. Really remarkable. Everywhere we went, my whole life, given the opportunity, if there was an open chair, I would sit down, and he would jump in the chair next to me and sit in the chair. Like like a bird on a wire mixed with a king on his throne. He would never dump in a place a normal dog would dump. He would run way far away and find some bushes and climb in the bushes and dump in the bushes so nobody had to pick it up and fertilize the bushes and then run back super happy. You could take him inside a business meeting, you could take him into anywhere, a plane, and on his own accord, he would jump up and sit and watch the meeting occur and participate in it and look at everybody as they were talking. It's not exaggeration. When someone was a little bit fishy or not up to par, he when someone was pure hearted, he'd lick them right in the face. Like a gift. I can feel it. He'd sleep. When he was younger, he would pull the covers back and sleep at a king size bed and sleep in under the covers with me on his own pillow, just staring at me, sometimes giving me his paw like a person. Cover him back up with the covers up to his neck. He would just sleep in there like a human. I bet he just stays sleeping in there. When he got older, he would jump up and sleep on top of the covers in between my legs. That's not uh, that's not why I wanted to make this though. What I really want to say is what's still here? That's always what I come back to in every scenario. So every public meet and greet, every um, walk down to the pub, every go to somebody's house, every time you watch something on the internet, what are you doing? You're kind of, to a certain degree, losing the awareness of what is here. Not always, but many times. And sometimes something will snap you back. And I spend a lot of time alone, so I'm very aware of what is here frequently. And as he left his body, so clear to me, it's a gift. The entire thing is a gift. And you and I, we are gifts too, to this place and to each other. We tend to see ourselves as small, as doing our part, just fitting in. And we forget that we are God, we are love. There can be no other way. And that everything we do is a blessing. It's either a lesson for us or potentially a lesson for someone else, or it's growth and a blessing for ourselves and for this place. So that's what I'm left with. I'm left with the everlasting fullness of love. I haven't lost anything. I've gained everything. I'm looking over here because his body is over here. I'm waiting until it stops raining. I'm gonna go bury him. Um, yeah, that process of leaving the body, in my opinion, should be paid much more close attention to, with much more reverence and awareness. It shouldn't be pushed into a corner, a thing that kids don't see and others talk about as sad. I'm not saying anybody needs to look forward to it, but it should be cherished so much more than Christmas morning. It's one of, if not the most important things of this. It's like giving birth or creating life, realizing who and what you are, fulfilling your mission, experiencing others and your disembodiment. And then I would say playing, playing with the elements, playing with other animals and plants, playing with this life. Those are the things that you're meant to experience. It doesn't have to be that way, it doesn't have to be in that order for anybody, but those are basically the core. You're here to create and you're here to experience yourself growing, unfolding, and leaving. And it will go way quicker than anyone expects. Because as soon as you're ready, you do it, you do it, you do it, and then all of a sudden, society starts to view you as old. It's funny we do that. So much of society puts energy onto those that are still not quite there yet. All this attention on those that don't fully know who they are yet. And the ones that do, we pay them no mind. I'm not part of society. Genuinely, it's below me. That may hurt some, but it doesn't hurt me. It only hurts you if it does, because you know that you're attached to it and something about it rings true. I suggest we all look much more genuinely at where does this substance of what is considered to be life go? How does it maneuver? What is occurring when it leaves the body? When the body goes back to just the air that's trapped inside, to just relieving itself of the last few movements that it must do. When the chemicals are released, when the blood stops moving, the body. But that thing that turned it on, and that thing that turned it off, is not of this place. For it cannot be. Bodies require spirit to run. That's how it works. And spirit can be described as, in my opinion, you are divine, limitless spirit energy, but it can be described as limitless energy. And in my opinion, you are in a mind that is reflecting light to you as density. And there's so much more going on. And it's all further and further and further than okay. It's perfect. I'm not fixed on it, but I'm pretty sure that the spirit that I call Fred as a dog came here to the place where I could not just have these realizations, they're not new to me, but be able to embody them, to live as the way, to get better at what I'm here to do, and to guide me through the process. Because there's some really fucking hard shit that a couple times I was left with only Fred. And just the beingness of who he was is, it's not like I was going to fall apart. It was more that he provided the ambiance, the resonance of guidance, of what it was to be that lion with the longest mane, to be that wizard up on the hill, to be that silverback gorilla, to not react to your reflection, and to forgive them for they know not what they do, to witness your own requirement for learning, to not become overwhelmed by how far you have to go, to be here now. I think that humans have a reverence for certain objects, certain places, certain animals for a reason. The overwhelming majority tend to reach out to put on a pedestal that there's something special about whales and dolphins and horses, dogs, cats. These all entities are of the same substance, so they're all the same, and it's all fluid. But there is something very, very special about a wolf. There is something very, very special about a lion. And we have the opportunity to participate in this embodied, dense life with these curated versions of wolves and lions, these cats and dogs. And we laugh about how cute they are or the things they do or whatever. Sometimes we get upset about having to take care of them. But there's something about the human connection to these animals, the human connection to horses. People love horses so deeply. It's the way that animals carry themselves, the way they look around, the way they look at you. It's the feedback that they're giving you and you're giving them. There's a mutual resonance of awareness there. I'm incredibly grateful for the process of life that I've experienced with Fred. What he's guided me through. I'm incredibly grateful for how he was born and how he left. And again, all I can say is thank you. Girth, love you, boy. I wouldn't have my kids if it weren't for him. Sitting outside this window one day, the front yard, Fred and I were chasing each other around a tree. He liked to play hide and seek around trees. Wait for me to go one side and bark, saying you can't catch me. Run to the other side. And a girl I knew pulled up in a bike, and she wanted to play with Fred. And I was about to go out of town. She asked if she could take Fred on a bike ride. A couple years later, I have 3 kids with that girl. I'm grateful for every second of this experience of life. And I have nothing left in me to do anything except for what I'm here to do. That's why I'm making this. So I need to work on my communication. I don't know if I'm going to do this again, but I doubt it. And like Fred, I'm pretty confident I came here to guide others and to give myself more than I think I can hold to this place. And I'll leave my body. I won't be sad. Just be a passing of the torch to someone else. You got it from here. That's what I think those relationships are with those animals. There's a connection, and there's a lot more. And where the future is considered to be, maybe we talk to each other. Doesn't really matter. It's not different than what is actually occurring. All number is representing letter. Letter is representing symbol. Symbol is representing intent. Intent is representing resonance. All communication on all levels, godly, spiritual, physical, interspecies, plants, everything, etherical, everything is an attempt to communicate resonance. Everything. Everything derives from the cymatics of intention, holding attention on intention. Everything. There is nothing that does not operate in that manner. It is all light deriving from cymatics, deriving from the desire to communicate resonance. Everything. And so I will give my resonance to this place more and more and more and more. There's this thickness that is here, and it's this one moment. There is no other time. There is no other scenario. There is no other 12 trillion multiverses. It doesn't fucking matter. It's this one moment. This, everything that's ever occurred, the one they call Buddha or Yeshua or Jesus or Krishna or Odin, it occurred now. That occurred now. Anunnaki occurred now, if that's what you're into. Atlantis, the original Egypt, Kem, the great civilization of the Vedic cultures and the pyramids in South America, the pyramids in China. It occurred now. There is no other moment than this. It's our one shared moment. It's only now. So thinking about these 14 and a half years with Fred, where are they? It's just now. It's now. And all of that now is created by the balance of love and fear. And people tend to focus on the fear primarily, even in religions. I don't mean the Vatican, that's a whole another organization. Um, just in theology is primarily fear based. There are no isms or iddies that are greater than you. It's impossible. You, like I, like Fred, like that cat who I named May, M-A-I, turning around, are bigger than this place. Individually, we're all bigger than this place. And we come here and we slowly, usually around the age of 7, become engulfed in the collective unconscious. And the collective unconscious has been fed in a leadership role information. And we are divine, magical beings who shoot energy out into our resonance. And our resonance is then reflected back by this realm, and that's what we call our world. And our themes are already written, but our themes are representing the theme and what is flowing through us, and that's the reflection we get. Those reflections of the events, the occurrences in our life, how things unfold, and so we can see what's going on inside of us here in this place, so we can continue to adapt to ourselves and grow and grow and grow. But you can't see that if you're attached to a full immersement and servitude of the collective unconscious, because it's a greater pull in resonance than the individual who's serving it. But if you separate yourself from it, you can begin to grow yourself. And just as the individual has life flowing through them and projecting their energy out on the levels of consciousness, the same exact flow occurs within the collective. So it's projecting out what is fed to it, and everybody sees it and reacts to it and continues this process of being caught in the undertow forever. And that's operating within the polarities of love and fear as the bottom of the pyramid, love and fear. So the key is that love here and fear here are both, just like everything here, made of the pure essence of love. That which most call the singular source God, creation, singular one love. It's purely love. Everything is purely love. But we in the collective, not I as much, but damn near everybody in the collective unconscious is being fed information that's operating on a loop. Everything's a self-serving loop, a loop of repetition of fear. And fear here is your mirror. And fear here as a mirror is operating as a safety net within the collective unconscious. So everybody feels like they're safer going along with the flow and then fighting each other and opinions that aren't even theirs based on information that's just a programming asset, just a programming input into the collective unconscious. And I don't mean this at all based on computers. Computers are purely, this is not a simulation. That is silly. That is trying to make the objects we have here more important than what is already here. It's fucking foolish. It's stupid. We're in a self projection mind, and it's all the essence of love. As Fred came here to be a guide for me, I'm going to continue to guide myself properly to grow. And whatever I can do to make this experience and awareness of existence as divine, limitless spirit, energy, and body grow in a greater mechanism for love, for wisdom and love. That's what my life is being dedicated to. And with different words and different mannerisms, pretty sure the great ones of nearly all ancient cultures felt the same. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of humans that feel the same now. So it's not sorry for your loss. I haven't lost anything. In fact, we can never lose anything. It's impossible to lose anything. That's just not how it works. Every fiber of Fred's true essence of being is within me. And he has more than done his job. I honor that. He's just as much with me now as he ever has been. And I wish for him that he goes to the highest place. He continues on, which is, in my opinion, basically the beyond. No longer of this mind. Everyone here has individual purposes and a singular core collective mission. It's to shine your light. You gotta shine your fucking light. You gotta find a way to be the real you. Completely. Embodied in everything you do. even when you're scared, because there's really nothing to be scared of. Your body is not you. Your brain is a receiving and projecting mechanism. Your mind is a highway of information connected to a greater mind. And it's a spotlight that's your attention. And most people have their spotlight unaware that they even have it focused directly on the information highway portal. Place your mind's attention spotlight on your heart's intention. Live from your heart. 1. Heart. 2. Mind's attention. 3. Body, gut instinct, courageous action, friction. Focus is intention, mind, attention as one. You don't get what you're supposed to do going deeper and deeper into the mind. You get what you're supposed to do from your heart, it's the prism of your soul. And you hold your mind's attention on that which your heart is giving you directive of. 1, 2, as focus. And then you apply your body into great friction. And that friction can be just speaking, like I am now. Because I don't want to do this. But that which you don't do, that is inside of you, will eat you. You just gotta stop listening to everybody else and just fucking do it. This place is perfect. And it's evolving. It's unfolding. It's bending. It's fluid. It is all you. Everything is you. Everything is I. In a greater form, it is all one. We. Wu Wei. And beyond that is only love. The essence of love. The fabric of intention and attention of creation. Of the one thing. That which most call God. So I'm not sad about Fred. I don't want to put dirt on him, but I'm gonna, because he's not in his body anymore. And he's got the best nose of anything that's ever been. But it's cold. Yesterday at this time, I was doing a meditation with him, and sitting with him, had a good time. Exactly 2 hours later, he left his body. That could be the saddest thing ever. Or losing a parent, or losing a kid, losing a spouse. Saddest thing ever. So I'm not trying to compare it, but it's also a remarkable, remarkable gift that you are divine, limitless spirit energy embodied. You have the opportunity to see and to feel. Almost everyone in the collective, unconscious, superconscious, self-conscious, unconscious, subconscious. Subconscious projection, unconscious operating, holding, self-conscious communicating in the now, superconscious connection with your greater self, with the greater mind. Almost everybody in the collective unconscious is unaware that they are constantly addressing external fears, which keeps them in this interesting inversion, keeps them from addressing their core inner fears, which keeps them with a ceiling on who they are and where they're capable of going. Because you must internally address your own fears in your mind boxes, sit with them, and the mind box opens. And then you keep growing, you bump up against another one. And you find yourself in these unfolding mind boxes to realize, I am this. Not because you heard it in a book, not because a guru told you. I'm not against that either, but that's just a stage in your own awareness of your own reflection. You are it. The fabric of this place is it, and it is you. And it is mine. And you are beyond this. You are beyond everything. You are love. And there's something that you're here to do. So go do it. Stop addressing these external fears if you can, and a smooth transition, not drive yourself crazy about it. Just watch. Is this an external fear? Yes, yes, but. Is this an external fear? Is this a programmed fear from the collective unconscious? Or is it something that's internally part of the ladder of me of which I am here to do? Start focusing on what you're here to do, climbing the ladder of you, and give yourself a break about it. Because really, you're just sitting in this now moment. That's what's occurring. People think everybody's like on this long road of past and future. And the now is like this tiny little nothing in the middle of this assembly line. But it's not like that. It's actually like this. Bunch of breaths, communication, confusion, figuring things out, laughs, cries. Because it's not going anywhere. It's here. It's now. Now. This is life. And leaving your body is part of life. It's one of the best parts. And crying about it is part of life. That's one of the best parts. Think about what it would be like if there was no feeling about that. It'd be like maybe a technocracy. In my opinion, it would fucking suck. The biggest moments that run through your system as you're leaving your body are the ones that felt the most, that meant the most to you. And it's supposed to be like that. And just watch. That's your mind. It's not your brain, it's your mind giving you, like, this is what you did. Not in a judgmental way. Just this is what happened. And a lot of those big ones are based around the things, the individuals, the animals, the family members that leave their body. And how there's these little impressions of them in you. I was in that kitchen not too long ago, a couple months ago. I heard something listening to somebody talk, and um, all of a sudden, I said something to my mom, and the entire kitchen was just filled with her. E- it was exactly like standing next to her, and it was like that for about 5 minutes. I was just frozen, sitting with her. Still feel the resonance of Fred. So what is that? We're all here together. And we're all trying to figure out what it is that we're supposed to do here. And the collective unconscious is a stepping stone to keep us safe toward us figuring ourselves out. It's not the enemy. In fact, there is no enemy. You're the one. Every story is about you. The story of the stars is about you. All the myths, all the core principles of really, really great movies, of great literature. It's about you. All the characters are you. You are the love of creation. What are you going to do with it? Fred did exactly what he was supposed to do. And in my opinion, way more. I'm going to do my best to learn from that. Be more like him. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks anymore. It's time for you to be yourself. Blessings to you. I love you. Stop being scared. There's literally nothing to be afraid of at all. Fear is just showing you what's inside you so that you can sit with it and address it. It's a blessing. Everything's kind of a joke because you won't be here that long. So again, I said thank you. Because if it had happened differently, what a remarkable period of love and growth and awareness and joy and humor and strife and anger, and sadness, and togetherness and aloneness that I would have missed out on. If this life isn't fucking magic, it's nothing. It's perfect. Bring them both listen to your own. You're the one. What are you gonna do with it? Be you. Way down deep inside, secretly, that's what everybody wants you to do.